at Milwaukee High School. I want to show you how to sync your Google Classroom with Synergy. This will save you a lot of time in your grading and make it a lot easier while school is closed or we're doing online school. I've been doing this for the last 2 years, actually while we were at school, and then I've continued doing it while we've been having to work from home. So the first thing you want to do is log into Synergy and look at and go to home, and you'll see your grid here. This is one of my classes. This is my ELD 2-3 class. It's a pretty small class of intermediate language learners. First thing you want to notice here is this little grayed out G up here, the Google G. You'll need to click on that and click down here, and you'll need to grant permissions in Google. It's going to ask you to sign in. So select your North Clackamas account. Excuse me. I'm signed out right now, but it'll have me sign in. Enter your password. It'll sign you in. This is North Clackamas School District, Synergy Google Classroom Integration. And it'll do all these things here, allow you to see, edit, create, and delete all your Google Drive files, manage coursework, grades in Google Classroom, etc. You want to click Allow. Just take a second here. And now you'll notice up here that the G is now colored. That's just the first step, though. That's just connecting the two together and giving permission for Synergy to talk to Google. But now you need to actually connect it to a classroom. So to do that, you'll need to go to Gradebook, go to Gradebook Main. This class has already been connected here, and I've been using this for a while, so some of this will be a little bit different for if it'll be your first time, but I'll show you how to do that. So you can see up here, this is my class so far. Next step is to go up to Gradebook Setup. In Gradebook Setup, then go to Class Settings. Okay. One thing to let you know in class settings here, how I had set up my gradebook is I set up a new Google Classroom for every semester and for every classroom. So for example, the 2-3 ELD 2-3 class here, that's for semester 1. I'm looking at semester 2. So I'm going to go down here, and this is semester 2 on here. So to edit it, you're going to need to go on here. You can see this is already turned on for Google here. This is this on indicator. You go to Edit. You see Google Classroom is enabled here. If this is your first time, you want to click Enabled. Then you're going to click Advanced Features. And then you're going to go and enter in your class code. I've already entered it on here, but you can get it from over here. Just click your class code, highlight it, copy it, Command C. Go back over here, put it back in there, Command V, and you'll paste in your class code. You want to make sure you're syncing the student rosters, syncing assignments, syncing scores. If you can see, it's really tricky to see. Oops. I wanted to show you something here. Under Advanced Options. There is, if you see Sync Google, there's an assignment little thing there, and it's making it very difficult to click on it on my screen. It might be due to the size of the screen I'm running here, but if you can get that to click, maybe I can get it to work on another classroom here. Let's try this one at the bottom here. Maybe make my screen a little bit bigger. You'll be able to click the date to start your syncing. I would normally set that date up for the first day of the semester, or if you're setting up a new classroom because of COVID-19, I would do it as of March 13th when we went on to online school and for assignments on that. So that's the part you want to do on here. So you'll put the codes in here, set that date. I know it's kind of tricky on here, but hopefully on your computer you'll be able to get to it. I might be able to help you as well if you need it. We'll talk about it in a second. So hit save for all the changes you've did. Now go back to Gradebook main. You can see that you're synced from Google. You'll allow it to sync here from your assignments. If you had that date set up, it's kind of difficult for me to show you, but that should bring in your assignments from Google from the past into it. There's ways you can do to turn it off if you want to manually adjust an assignment. Almost all of my assignments are actually graded in Google, and I'm going to show you that in one moment here. So you can see all the little colored G's at the top here are all Google assignments. All of my assignments are in Google, even ones that are paper. So back when we were in school, I may have like a packet or something like that, or a worksheet or a paper. And with that, I would actually put the assignment into Google Classroom and put the grades in there. So I do my grading in there and then sync it into Synergy. That way students can see both in Google Classroom where their work needs to be done, and I'm just working in one place, so I'm not trying to work in two places at once. So to actually do grading, you'll go back to your Google Classroom, close this. If you're not already using this feature across the top here, the grades feature is very powerful and very helpful to see what work you need to get done. So if you look on here, you can see the little green tabs are people that have students that have turned in work. So I'm going to show you, let's look here. I'm going to look on week 2 bonus here. I'm going to look for Daniel's work right here. He turned it in. We're going to take a look at what he did. I'm going to make my screen a little bit bigger here so you can see his work here. We're looking on the bright side of things. The lesson's about pessimism and optimism. So he missed one part of it here, which was a section where you were supposed to add the definition. So I'm just going to put missing in there. So you can see on that. So I'm going to mark him down a point or two for that, just because part of it's missing. On here, so pessimist or optimist, he says he's an optimist. So these are negative or positive. I would have liked to see some full sentences, but this is what he answered on here. What is a way to have more positive thoughts? Thinking differently, looking at the good side of things. So he had a couple answers there. I'm going to give, because you missed that one part here, I'm going to give him 8 out of 10. That's where we put the scores in. Make sure you put your private comments in. That's a section for another time. You can talk about grading on that and how you actually want to do the grading, but this is just an example. So go up here, click return. This is going to return the work to the student. Return. You'll get an email saying that this has been graded. Okay, so we just graded it in the Google Classroom. And you can see now that it's been turned in. I can go back to the grades if you want to see that. So you just go back to class here. I wish there was a way to kind of go directly back, but it's now here, and we should be able to see it. Sorry, my screen's a little small. Right down here. So this is his work right here, 8 out of 10. Okay, so now we're going to go over to Synergy. We're going to click Sync from Google. It just takes a moment here. One thing about the Synergy integration, it will slow down your Synergy just a little bit. and you'll scroll over and you can see right here that is his grade that added that in with the syncing there. A couple things to note here. You can see a lot of blank spots. That's because I'm not putting in zeros right now for any work after the closure for COVID-19. Zeros will push down a student's grade. We were told to hold the grade for anything afterwards. So basically, all these scores that are coming in after that will help the students. So you can see a lot of the students now who've been doing regular work have their grades have been going up. So like, for example, Shane's here, he's at 90% because he's been doing a lot of his work here. He missed a couple earlier ones, but that's where his grade is working on that. You can also notice over here that this assignment has student submissions. This means it's been submitted into Google, so you can see that there's work for me to be graded on there. So I need to go back at a future time and update that and grade that assignment. I hope this has been helpful. I have access to look at other teachers' gradebooks because I'm an ELD specialist to keep track of the language learners at our school. So I can use that to help you set up your Google Classroom and the Synergy syncing if you need help. I hope this was useful, and I look forward to talking with y'all, and I look forward to moving in our new school.